Did you know King Von passed away due to a hospital nurse? As it was revealed, King Von made it through his 2 surgeries, waking up screaming for his firearm. He then went into shock, then passed away. He only had 1 more surgery to go, as these are words from a close member of OTF.
And Von made it through 2 surgeries. He had 3 surgeries ago. He made it through 2 surgeries. And then after the 2nd surgery, he hopped off the bed and started fighting the nurse and said where his gun at. And he went and he died because he went into shock. So he was making 2 surgeries. How hours later, Kayla know, talking about he fought the nurse. She the one told me that. His mama didn't even know that. How you knowing what's going on inside the hospital?
Because she was there at the hospital.
As in further detail, he would explain that King Von woke up, sprung out of the hospital bed, looking around for his firearm, resulting into a nurse sprinting into his hospital room, which startled King Von. But did you know rappers actually hinted towards this before? To understand it all, it's important to know that on November 5th, 2020, King Von and his crew prepared to head to Club Opium in Atlanta for his album release party. The night was supposed to be a massive celebration of the life and success of King Von. Nobody knew that it would be so short-lived. King Von had many enemies. Growing up in a dangerous place like O-Block, he knew the risks of being caught out in public. So when rolling out to the club, Von would bring a crew of 20 to 25 O-Block members spread across 8 vehicles that all went to the party. Even Von's manager 100K Track spoke on the extreme measures Von took regarding his security.
I travel with 1 security that moves with Von, and he traveled with 2 more security. You know what I'm saying? Von traveled in a proof truck, and not only that, his guys are security, man. He travels with 10 to 15 guys daily. They protect and love Von more than any security would. I think we're about 8-10 cars deep, 20-25 on entourage.
But then later on in the night, something changed. Von would act out, putting his entire life in jeopardy, but in the meantime, his party was going great. Everyone was having a good time, celebrating the life and success of Von and his album. Once the party ended around 2:30 a.m., Von and his entourage began exiting the club. With the plan of everybody returning to the Airbnb, King Von would quickly switch his plans and go somewhere else.
Everybody mind leaving the club is that we're going to the hotel and the Airbnb, because that's normal routine. The club he went to, the after hours, wasn't getting paid for. I didn't have no acknowledgement of. This team didn't have no acknowledgement of. That was a complete Von decision.
With the entire crew heading to the Airbnb, Von would tell his driver to go to a different club known as the Monaco Lounge. This would be the first decision of many that led to Von sadly passing away.
So everybody else that was with us driving to the Airbnb, and Von literally went to the venue by himself. We got a call later from people in the car, like, hey bro, we here by, matter of fact, I think from his DJ was like, hey bro, we here by ourselves, like, where you guys at? And everybody rerouted to that venue.
For some reason, the people in Von's truck only let the people know the plans had changed once they arrived to Monaco. Everyone else was at the Airbnb just waiting for Von to arrive. But when the rest of the team found out, they all hopped back into their vehicles, heading over to the new club instantly. Once Von's manager got to Monaco, he knew something was off about King Von, as he wasn't acting like the upbeat guy that he usually is. Instead, he was very quiet, to himself, and sitting on his cell phone for a very long time. Von's crew, however, was ready to enter the new club, but Von sat in the truck alone for 30 minutes.
For some reason, Von wasn't himself. This man is like, I promise you, the best artist I ever moved in my life. For some reason that night, it was off. Like, he stayed in the car for like 30-35 minutes.
His manager then hopped back into his truck, trying to check on King Von. Von then finally agreed to go into the lounge, but due to Monaco's club rules, Von's crew had to leave their firearms in their cars, as they first sent security in to go check around the club, making sure everything was safe.
I went to the car he was in, I was like, yo, Von. Went inside the passenger seat, I'm like, yo, Von, bro, what's going on? Like, everybody here waiting, let's go. He was like, all right, let's go. We're telling security, hey, it's time to go in now. Von's ready. You know what I'm saying? We've been here too long. Let's go inside the club. They check the venue, go inside, check the outside, make sure there's no...
But they didn't realize the real danger was actually outside, because Quando Rondo was in a club with a couple of his own members trying to get some sleep, almost as if they knew something was going to be going down later in the night and they were getting some rest. While doing security checks, one of Von's members realized Quando Rondo is sleeping in a car just outside of Von's car.
Now, right before we go inside the club, one of his homeboys, he came to the car and said, hey, so-and-so's here. And Von just jumped up like, oh, come on, let's go.
King Von would react instantly, jumping out of his truck, putting his phone down, looking to confront Quando. Von's team tried to get him to chill out and not start a scene, but this obviously didn't stop him, as King Von went around the front of the white vehicle and immediately began swinging against Quando with no communication beforehand.
He jumped out the car. By the time Von jumped out the car, I don't even think he knew where so-and-so was. He just jumped out the car. He bumped into so-and-so. As soon as he bumped into so-and-so, started brawling.
Then only a couple seconds into the brawl, Quando's best friend Lul Timm would come out of the back side of the white car with his firearm. He would then use it towards King Von multiple times across his body, while also hitting Von's manager once in the leg. Some of Von's members were still strapped. Once the sound of Timm's firearm went off, Von's crew members pulled theirs out and began retaliating against Lul Timm. They instantly made him fall to the ground only a few feet away. With the noise of clips going off in the area, 2 off-duty officers working security down the street would hop into their vehicles and begin creeping up on the street. Once they got close enough, they unleashed multiple rounds into the area they were all having a scuffle in, hitting and ending one of King Von's members. But during this, King Von lied right in the middle of the street, holding Quando right beside him, using him as a shield. People online believe Quando was trying to snatch Von's chain before fleeing the area, but Von's manager believes he was holding Quando there to shield himself.
And was he trying to take Von's chain, or?
Honest truth, I don't think V-Roy had no jewelry on, and from the people that was a little bit closer, Von was actually holding onto him like, man, you ain't going nowhere. Like, you here, like, even through getting, he's that strong. Like, he was literally holding him.
However, once the scene then relaxed and everyone stopped using their firearms, the race to save King Von's life was then on. His closest friend Muop ran right into the middle of the street. He would knock Quando Rondo right out of the way, grabbing Von and carrying him to the getaway car. Meanwhile, Quando and his team would then leave the scene, dragging Lul Timm into the white car, then speeding off into the hospital. Despite being hit 4 times, King Von was conscious in his car the entire time, and he was actually telling everyone to stay in good spirits and assured everyone in the car everything would be okay.
When he was in the car, I myself wasn't there. The gentleman that was in the car with him was panicking, and Von was the one that was like, hey, calm down, slow down, chill, I'm gonna be good, just get me to the hospital. And honest truth, we all thought that the way he was carrying himself, from that incident, from what I was told from the people in the car, that he would have been fine.
After arriving to the hospital, King Von was rushed into the operating room, but unfortunately passed away during surgery. However, new reports would share that Von lived through his surgeries, making many believe that King Von was still alive. But the OTF member would explain further, explaining how he passed away after waking up, looking for his firearm, to then being startled by a nurse running into his room. The same firearm that rap OG Boosie was speaking about.
I mean, like you said, the King Von situation, like there was absolutely no reason for Von to be rolling around with that dude. Like, there was no, especially since he had security, like, you know, someone should have jumped in. It should never even.
King Von
I almost feel like, but I almost feel like if you have real security,
all of them is supposed to blast. I feel like they would have been more ready in Chicago.
Sad, man, sad. I mean, the whole King Von thing is really kind of hanging
me up,
over
bro.
everyone right now.
That f me up, bro. Because I like King Von. You know?
As Von's natural instinct was to look for his firearm. Having had it his entire life practically growing up in a dangerous area, he allegedly never even had one on him. As the news of King Von's passing then shook the entire rap industry. Being one of Chicago's most fearless and dangerous gang members, many didn't even believe it was real, until the news would report this.
This made national headlines as officials confirmed one of the 3 people was rapper King Von from Chicago, who was here last night with friends.
2 groups of individuals got into a physical altercation. That physical altercation escalated into an exchange of guns.
Even something as simple as going across the street to look at King Von's mural, as O-Block members would show in this Instagram Live, would go viral online.
Check it out. Let's walk over here and see this Von picture. I know it's a lot of ops on this. I'm letting y'all see where I'm at. Why is this black truck still right here? Man. Watch that truck. Watch that truck right there.